We have the proud owner from Punjab Royal Legends, Ayush. So we want to understand how did your auction go, sir? You got all the players?
I think we managed to get whomsoever we wanted. Of course, we had a preference. We had the list of all the players that we needed. I think we're pretty confident, pretty happy with how the auction has gone. So far, so good. But we'll see how it pans out.
Absolutely. And I'm sure, sir, because you must have been playing cricket for so long, and now the Legends League coming up, giving the opportunity to only those secluded 40 plus kind of a gentry where I'm sure we all are anyway connected to cricket. So how do you think that special move for 17 Sports give that extra inch and how that gives an excitement to your cricketing journey?
I think it's a brilliant initiative by One Sports, especially if you just look at the age group, which is of course 40 plus. It's going to be a different ballgame altogether. And of course, we know a lot of players who've been playing for quite some time now. I've been playing for quite some time now. So I think it's going to be super interesting, especially with the rules that we introduced today. We were still discussing how we probably keep a track of all those rules, how we use it to our advantage. But I think it's going to be really exciting for me, given the dynamics that you and your team has created.
And how do you see those rules that we just discussed about? Do you see that them adding as an extra mental exercise apart from the physical exercise in the game?
Of course, you need to have someone who's really good with making strategies. Like we have people who are very good with those strategies. But yeah, I think it's going to be super tricky because these rules that you've created, I think one needs to have in-depth understanding of how each of those rules are going to work. Like I was making notes when you were telling me. Right, so I'm still going through it. What's going to be a legendary over? What's going to be a star batsman? How can we use them? Where can we use them? When to use them? I think that's going to add like an element of surprise as well. Because while of course, but you have your own strategies, the opposition is also going to come with their own strategy. I think the person who's well versed with all of these rules probably will have some advantage.
Absolutely. And how do you see about the other team members here? So, I mean, you must have seen all the good players coming in the auction,
Right.
and other your opponents have got players also. And so, what do you see about the other? What do you have to say about the other teams?
I think it's a very well balanced squad across all teams. Of course, everybody has their preferences in mind, and you could see that during the auction when the panel keeps going up. But you know that there's zero on this thing that we do. I think it's a we're just discussing and don't say everybody's this. I think it's a pretty strong team, but everyone's squad, and that makes me even more a little nervous also to say that this is going to be a very competitive tournament, given that most of the teams are really good, and I know some of them. Like of course, some of them are my friends. I also wanted them in my squad, but of course, the budget and everything that didn't kind of work out for us in certain scenarios. But yeah, more or less, I think it's a pretty well balanced squad across the game.
Very well said. Anything last which you have to say to your opponents?
I would say that it's called the gentleman's game for a reason. Play in that spirit, but all the very best, and let the best team win.
Very well said, sir. Thank you so much for joining us, and I wish you all the best for the tournament.
Thank you.
Thank you.